Is the cost of your morning coffee or the stability of your career now dictated by a political decision 8,000 miles away? Well, the answer is yes. The global economic architecture is currently breaking in two. The old rules of global trade are being replaced by strategic rivalry between the world's two biggest powers. Hi, I'm Jean-Baptiste Vautier, co-founder of the Vautier Family Office, board member of companies including, among others, Pershing Square and Howard Hughes, and I'm also a private investor. Today, we're dissecting the new Cold War economy. What does the competition between US and China mean for global commerce, and how you can strategically navigate the change? The competition between the US and China creates risk for every country. For smaller nations caught in the middle, they face an impossible choice. First, the no-win scenario. These countries can't afford to lose access to Western technology and finance, yet they also can't afford to ignore the massive Chinese consumer market. Then it's also a strategy of survival for those countries. This choice is less about picking a favorite and more about economic survival. Their strategy must be to try and stay in the middle, trading with everyone while strictly protecting their sensitive data and core technologies. So friendshoring is the solution. Let's explain the shift towards friendshoring as a result of this global tension. First, there's a debate and a tension between trust over cost. For the last several years, companies have moved production simply to find the cheapest cost, typically landing in China. Now they're moving production to find trust and reliability. Then there's two sets of chains. This means companies are intentionally shifting manufacturing away from rivals and relocating to politically safe countries or their quote-unquote friends. This creates two separate global supply chains. In the end, it's paying for reliability. These separate chains are less efficient and more expensive. Consumers are essentially paying extra money for security and reliable product delivery, which pushes prices up. So to successfully navigate these changing trade and market trends, business must do a few things. First, identify their weak spots. You need to determine where your supply chain, data, or primary income relies too heavily on a single major power and make adjustments to diversify. Then you need to manage risk carefully. For regular commercial sectors, the smart move is usually to set up distinct, separate operations to serve both markets without letting risks from one side cross over to the other. Finally, you should prioritize resilience. The key priority for businesses is being strong and adaptable, even if it costs more than the cheapest option in the short term. Now, how does this complex global tension affect your career, your savings, your wallet? First, you need to understand why prices are up. When you see higher prices, understand that it's often the extra cost of a secure supply line, not necessarily a decision on the company's behalf. Occasionally, it can also be tariffs. Then invest in resilience. Focus your investments on industries that benefit from geopolitical shifts like the one we're currently seeing. This includes local manufacturing, cybersecurity, and defense contractors in allied countries. These are the new strategic growth areas. Finally, future-proof your career. Build skills in industry that can't be easily outsourced or are essential to national safety, like advanced manufacturing, for example, or data management. Having expertise in a reliable geography is your new career safety net when the markets shift. Overall, the new Cold War economy is irreversible. We're moving from a single integrated global market to a system defined by two competing superpowers, China and the United States. Successful navigation requires an understanding that every business decision is now also a geopolitical decision. Every choice has an outward ripple effect, often on a global scale. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. If you found this discussion valuable, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I always focus on bringing clarity to complex global strategies and problems. If you have a topic you'd like me to discuss in a future video, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.